Mary!
Seinfuck.
I want to talk about something that did happen on my birthday. Not Robert breaking down on the side of the road, like mere feet away from the bar. So
Yeah, like a fucking chump. Had to get AAA to tow our ass.
I felt bad.
It was an actual breaking down of a car and not like an emotional breakdown outside the bar.
I'm playing pool and drinking. I'm already like a few beers deep by the point he texts me. He's like, hey.
You were lit by when you picked us, or well, you didn't drive, but our buddy Moore did.
So we go and pick Robert up, obviously, because we can't leave him hanging. Yeah, his sister's fiance was there too. He had to stay with the car, and it's like 1:14 outside, and we're gonna
I
be
felt like a monster.
Yeah, you were a monster for leaving him out there like that, but you couldn't just like stay there. Your sister's fiance on the roadside on the worst intersection to break down on in the entire state, by the way. It's a blind corridor because you're coming up off a hill. Everything that comes up is maybe like 1/8 of a mile from ramming you in the ass, and everyone's going way above the speed limit because Arizona laws are kind of like a suggestion out here. We like to live like Mad Max on these highways. We get Robert, we drive back to the bar, and we have a good time. You know, Robert and his posse of merry folk leave. I'm in there, and I was expressing my regret I didn't put on captive honor. There's a note you hold where it goes like, if you kill a man, you're a murderer. Kill many, and you're a conqueror. Kill them all. Oh, you're a god. And he holds it for a really long time like that. And we were in the outside smoking area, right? Someone opens the door, sees me holding this note for an ungodly amount of time in perfect pitch, and stares at me the whole time. Which you probably think
is perfect pitch, because I know how drunk you were at this point.
Rude. He doesn't believe.
He can sing, bro. We all know Harper can sing from this podcast.
The only one who can't sing is Malcolm.
I didn't finish. I was like singing with my eyes closed because I was, in raptures at the sound of my own voice until I stop and I look and I see everyone else in the bar crowded around the fucking door watching me hold the note. And I'm like off my ass because they gave me several shots and several beers and several shots to chase down those beers. And they start laughing when I finish. And I don't think of anything. I go, ow, like that, like really loud.
True showman finish.
And they shut the door. We politely paid our tabs and left.
And then the spaghetti started falling out of my pocket.
Yeah, I start propelling through the bar door in a stream of shit and spaghetti.
Oh, buddy. Happy birthday, Harper.
Thank you. I'm 33.
You were not 33. I'm 41.
I'm 62 years old and reaching retirement. Malcolm was on top of the tables, begging people to take body shots off of his sculpted, chiseled abs. I almost did.
Yeah, I have a hard body.
Hard body.
Hard body.
Robert was eyeing him enviously.
What the fuck?
with his garter belt that he wears under his jeans.
It's not a garter belt. It's Spanx. I have to keep it tight, Harper.
He's got those love handles that don't quit.
Some things that hang aren't supposed to hang, and you got to keep them tucked up there.
So what'd you guys do this weekend?
I did fuck all, honestly. I genuinely sat and stared and read a lot and, contemplated existence. What about you, Malcolm?
Well, my weekend's it was bad. It wasn't like a great weekend. Full disclosure, I have an ulcer. So that's been a problem, a recurring problem, and I had a flare up over the weekend. You know what's interesting is when you go to a hospital at 2:30 in the morning and you're by yourself and it's the people who are there. The funny thing was there was this group of people that showed up because this woman, I guess, must have passed out on a dance floor or something. And they're all there. And there's so many people who are I don't know if it was they were at a wedding or what was going on, because not joking, 15 people showed up to help this one woman. And this woman was also being I don't know, they must have found a wheelchair or something, because she was just in no, it wasn't a wheelchair. She was in an office chair. They just had her, they were rolling her in on
an office chair.
And then the nurse, the triage nurse was looking around being can we get this woman into onto a gurney or something? Why is she on this chair? And she slumped over, and I think her husband is just trying to move her up. They were basically Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's. Her.
And they're trying to snap at her to be wake up, wake up. And what was so funny was when the group came in and they were trying to figure out what's going on, they were also like the triage nurses. Like I was sitting there, I have this like this ulcer thing I'm dealing with, so I'm just like, ugh, like I'm just like gritting through this like stomach pain that I have. There's like burning sensation in my stomach, but I'm also like very acutely aware. I'm like trying to see what's going on because like
just people watching in the hospital.
Well, that's what else am I gonna do at that point? It's like I can't message anyone. It's too late in the night. But yeah, then there's like 4 of them come up and they're all trying to like, what's her name? Like, what's like her contact information? And they're all giving different answers. They're like, they're like, her name's Emma Chan. No, it's M Chan. It's Emily Chan. It's like, you said her husband is there, and it's like, and her husband's like in the other room, and I'm like, shouldn't the husband be giving this information out instead of like 4 people who, by the way, are all obliterated drunk. Like they're all drunk.
So they just came like from a fucking party. Mima, fucking Emily or whatever her name is, just fucking passed the fuck out on the dance floor, and all her kids are just like, I don't fucking know.
Well, that's the thing. They're also like, the disclosure was, I heard, and I was surprised. They're all like in their mid-30s as well. So the group was older. Like these people were like partying hard, and then like finally they're like, all right, they get her sorted. And then this, because like the waiting room at the hospital I was at isn't like the biggest waiting room, and there's other people kind of hanging out there like waiting for treatments and stuff. And so they all of a sudden they all just like descend into the waiting room, and I swear I see this one nurse, and she is just like, she's one of those nurses where you could tell she's just like had a day. She was just like had a day, and there's all these drunk people sitting there. She goes, who the fuck who are you here for? And then they go, oh, Emma or Emily or whatever her name was. And they just go, you don't all need to be here. All right. Like if you're like, unless you're her sister or her like, wife or, brother or whatever, like you can go. Like, are you her husband or partner? And they're just like, no, but we got to know what happened. We got to know what happened. And they're pleading with this nurse. They're like, please. They're like, we have to be there for her. She's like my best friend. Like one woman just starts crying. She's like, she's my best friend in the whole world.
Are they all on the will or something? Jesus.
You just imagine Malcolm sitting there, just completely impassive, just consumed in racking pain, just like, I want all of you people to be like thrown into an inferno right now, so you can stop occupying this hospital staff.
And finally, they're like, you got to go. And then one of the guys, like probably the sober boyfriend of like the one sober guy who's just like standing in a corner, not doing shit. I want to say that right now. The sober boyfriend always is useless. All right. In any situation. Yeah, he's the guy with no personality, and he's just sitting there, and it's like, hey, man, you're sober. You're supposed to be the one in Christ. Like in this situation, that's when you step the fuck up. Yeah, this time he's like on the corner, like just checking like Major League Baseball scores at 3 a.m. You're like, we get it. You have a player on the Cincinnati Reds in your baseball pool.
He wanted to talk about his fantasy hockey league. Listen to him.
So finally, this fall we're gonna have great hockey league. But yeah, so finally they get them out. So it's just like one friend and like the husband, all the others to leave. And yeah, I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, oh, okay. But the craziest one is at that hospital once. I was at that hospital, but I watched 2 security guys literally, like in the like cartoons when someone gets drunk and they throw a drunk guy out of like a bar, like literally, like they just do the swing,
like arm in arm, fucking swing them out.
At this emergency room, I once saw that happen. Like they literally, just one was like, ah, like he just like got all this strength out of nowhere. These 2 guys just like body him, and then finally, like, yeah, they literally chucked him out of the out into the street. There's just like 2 cops on horses were walking by. It was really wild. It was a very surreal moment.
I don't think you can have horse cops out here. The pavement gets too hot. I think their hooves would melt into the
No,
concrete.
I think that's kind of exclusive to like, fall and winter months.
We get also a lot of ATV cops here. I don't know if you get ATV cops.
That just sounds extremely dangerous.
Yeah, they do. They ride the streets on ATVs, and then they, but still ACAB.
Like we talked a lot about like us being drunk in situations in which we were drunk or high and funny shit happened. But I want to know stories where you were mostly sober, but then someone was drunk or high around you that was extremely funny.
So there's this old, like, the guy who played the professor in Back to the Future, what's his name? Fucking Doc Brown, doesn't matter. If Doc Brown was a black guy in a wheelchair, he was washed up in the hospital I was picking my grandma up from, and I had to sit in the waiting room. And this was in like 2020, so it was still pretty like a COVID heavy year. Imagine if Christopher Lloyd was black and in a wheelchair. He's with some sort of woman. I don't know what their relationship was. I assume it's like caretaker or something, but this man looks like he was just dragged off an underpass.
Oh no.
Like he looks unwashed and his hair's like standing on end. I don't know what the context was, but I started listening around the point he says, "Get I'm just like the woman just looks like so like, oh, this is just something he does.
Yeah.
Like,
He's not crazy. I wouldn't blow a homeless guy.
No, the crackhead must be crazy. Literally.
I feel like we need like another like drunk story if you've got another one. I could switch up and have a different segment if you guys want.
Well, you have it. I feel like you had this. This is your segment.
I do have it, but it's a kind of a long story.
Listen, you've spent several episodes teasing this story and you haven't said it.
No, this is a different story now.
Oh my god.
That story got lost in the weeds.
We'll never get paid. We're never gonna get the payoff.
Okay. So have I told you guys about my bus trip from San Diego to Phoenix?
No.
I think you've alluded to it once or twice in the company of others, but they all called you liars, so I would love to hear it.
Harper knows I don't lie about things that aren't like stories that I can just write on paper.
No, I thought you were going to say, Harper knows that I don't lie about things that are not truths.
Or I guess it's better to say Harper like knows what I lie about shit and he knows me well enough.
Well, I appreciate that. It's not true, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
Okay, so this was back in, I want to say 2019, so like a year abouts before the pandemic, and I, due to a lack of funds and more or less curiosity, I took a Greyhound bus from San Diego to Phoenix, where I was living in Phoenix at the time with my sister and her fiance. And as I am waiting, it's about 2 a.m., we were scheduled to arrive in Phoenix at like 10 a.m. And as I'm waiting at like 2 a.m. at this bus stop, I see this girl, and she's hot. Like she's a good looking girl, and she's just like, and I'm kind of like looking at her and like, what the fuck is this girl doing at 2 a.m. in the middle of downtown San Diego waiting for a Greyhound bus? And I think she noticed me looking, and it's okay. It's interesting. Is this? And I was like, a 2 a.m. meet cute? That seems weird. But we go, and she sits next to me on the Greyhound, and I'm because it's not assigned seating. It's not like an airplane, and she's just like talking to me. And as slowly as the conversation goes by, I realize she's fucking flying. She is on and coming down off acid at the same time. She latches onto me like a fucking sloth. Like basically I am like this the entire ride of I'm like half T-posing with my elbows up, and fucking I'm like this the entire bus ride. And this woman is just on me. And she's like saying nonsense and just, oh my, it gets worse and worse. At one point during the ride, I had to go and leave the Greyhound bus because a 16-wheeler flipped on the highway. And I had to help pull two women out of a fucking flipped beer truck. This is one of those stories where I'm like, I want to turn it into a novel. Anyway, she just like, I basically got molested on a Greyhound bus by this woman. And yeah, that was a thing.
The last time I heard it, she was ugly.
She was not ugly.
It sounded like you were like this, this crackhead was hot. Is that what I?
Yeah, she was. I mean, the whole thing, she was on a Greyhound bus from like San Diego all the way to Texas, I think to join like a cult. It was very strange.
Was it strange or was she enlightened?
Well, Molly, if you're out there, if you're listening, how's the cult treating you?
My man, you were abused. What are you talking about?
Yeah. She writes back. She's like, yeah, they make us listen to Seinfuck every day.
Every day.
That's our
every
listener
day.
base.
Yeah. Harper is our new deity, and Malcolm is there, and Robert is a lesson for how do we get better.
Don't make me a cult deity.
wow.
That should be one of you two.
Yeah, it's going to be like Harper is the high priest, Malcolm is the deity, and Robert
It's just kind of there.
and Robert is the Martin Luther of.
I've got some theses.
Why'd you make it sound like that?
Stop shitting in the bathroom and use toilet paper. We don't have the budget for a bidet.
Stop shitting in the bathroom.
All over the
Incredible.
bathroom. I mean, I just feel like you guys weren't giving me much on that story. You know, I got molested by someone coming down acid on a Greyhound bus, and you guys are just staring at me like I'm drying paint.
Well, we're listening. It's called active listening.
Active listening. I didn't see any nodding, you bastard.
Oh, I was nodding. I was big nodding the whole time.
Yeah, I
Big
was
nodding
going.
the entire time.
It's I was going like that Jack Nicholson meme where it's just like, yes, yeah, keep going, keep talking, keep.
So interesting.
I've got a game show.
Oh,
How about
no.
let's do that?
No, I was joking.
Yeah, the
let's
name
hear it.
of this game show is Presidential Middles. But okay, so the premise is that I'd like you guys to guess the middle names of these 2024 presidential candidates.
Oh God.
Phones down, everybody.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so the first one, so the way this is going to work is that I'm going to say a presidential candidate with their middle initial, the name of a presidential candidate with their middle initial, and you guys, Harper and Malcolm, each are going to guess the middle name of the presidential, and extra points if you get if you know the origin or can guess the origin of the name and why he's named that.
What the fuck?
No, it's good. Just listen to me.
And
Listen, give it a chance.
And for extra points, if you get the etymology of the name correct,
I only have those for one of these.
you will
The rest are just
you'll
funny.
win a million Robert bucks. All right, and the Robert bucks
Yeah,
will be
Robert
couched in-
bucks are great right now. Unlike they didn't fall with the rest of the crypto.
Yeah, it's just Robert. I tried to get my Delilah dollars converted into an NFT, but I noticed they're all attached to pictures of George Floyd. Why is that?
No.
Anyway,
No.
let's go with the game.
Our first presidential candidate is Chris J. Christie. Harper.
Joseph.
Malcolm.
You said Joseph, right? That's what you
Yeah,
said.
I said Joseph.
Okay, I'll say.
It doesn't have to be different answers. I mean, it could just be the same.
So that
answer.
fat tub of goo is running for
Oh,
president. by the way?
Jerome. I think it's Jerome.
Jerome.
The answer is James.
Okay. What a great enlightening reveal.
Let me fucking don't you poo-poo the segment until we get to the end.
Chris, you've been stopped, Christie.
His name is Chris James Christie, shared with his father, Wilbur James Bill Christie, a CPA from Newark.
Wilbur James Bill Alvin Christie.
No, my favorite meme that I ever saw of him. Someone on Twitter once posted a photo of him and he looks like when you have too much water underneath your bathing suit and it puffs up. That's him.
That's just what he looks like
All
normally.
the time.
He does.
Yeah,
That's
he
true.
is a fucking lord.
He wears clothes that make himself look rounder, and he's also the only guy who's fat who's yes, I'll wear all white all the time.
Dude, that belt looks like it's hanging on for dear life
Yeah.
on Christie's waist.
He's gonna sneeze and you're just gonna hear a tearing sound.
That's a man who desperately needs to just accept that he needs to shop at DXL.
Or
Desperately
just
needs to
lose
do some
some
sit-ups.
Yeah, listen,
Good link up there, Harper.
Hey, Chris James, CJ,
CJ, my guy.
CJ, my guy. Yeah.
CJ Christie.
My
Yeah,
best
you can
friend,
afford
Chris
a-
Christie.
You can afford some, lap band surgery.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you said lap dances for a second.
Yeah, so
Lap dance surgery.
he's sweating just from getting the stripper. It's so hot in the club. He's like, all right.
No, he's only there for the free breakfast bar.
Yeah, he's there for the buffet.
Dude,
that's
unrelated. Someone recommended a local strip club to one of my friends, and they advised him to try the steak because apparently they only go there for the steak. He's literally just the steak at cut this out, but the steak at the is
Yeah, that's a pretty popular one. Yeah. Okay, so the next candidate for the 2024 presidential elections is we have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. What does the F stand for in Robert F. Kennedy Jr.?
Papa. Franklin.
Malcolm.
I'm gonna say, Frederick.
Well, the answer is Francis.
Francis. That guy looks like he's seen an extra-dimensional horror. He sounds like it too. Like, you ever heard him speak? He's had some sort of terrible voice thing where he goes, and like, it sounds like someone is like letting the air out of Barry Goldwater.
I love that so much.
Didn't he have like his throat get fucked up from drug use? Like, I think that's what happened.
So the background, so Francis is from Francis of Assisi, better known as Saint Francis, the patron saint of Italy and associated with the patronage of animals and the environment, which is kind of funny because Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was, in his time before he went fucking psycho, was like pretty much the best environmental lawyer in the country. Oh my God. This is one of my favorites. Okay. So it's Ron D. Desantis. Popular governor from Florida or giant asshole?
This is like a traditionally woman's name, isn't that like?
No, this is not. Harper, what is your guess for Ron D. Desantis?
De La Sol.
De La Sol.
I'm gonna say Derek.
That's interesting. That is the exact opposite of the.
So the answer is Dion, Dion, from the singer Dion DiMucci, simply known by the mononym Dion, known for hits as The Wanderer and Runaround Sue. His middle name is after the fucking singer, the rock and roll singer Dion. And Dion, strangely, is still fucking alive.
That is strange.
Well, congratulations on him being alive.
He's like, yeah, but he's like 86 and he's a rock and roll star from like the 40s.
You remember that guy that named his kid Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, fucking Ichigo, fucking D. Jaeger Guts Kenpachi Cruz, or something like that?
We got two left, all right, and we'll go through it pretty quickly. So we have Joseph R. Biden Jr. What does the R stand for?
I do know this one. Yeah,
Malcolm.
It's Robinette.
Robinette, yeah. But Harper, are you going to concur?
It's Robinette.
It's Robinette, yes. Why is it Robinette? I don't fucking know. It's the same middle name his dad had.
Yeah, it's just in name. First love is I met her outside the swimming pool. Out back
with the corn pop, yeah. So yeah, his middle name is Robinette. It's the same middle name as his dad. And I guess for the etymology, its origin is German and it means bright flame, bright fame, not bright flame. Okay, we got the last one. Are you guys ready? You know who this is?
Absolutely.
Process of elimination. We have Donald J. Trump. What does the J stand for in Donald J. Trump?
Jail, because that's where I'll be running from.
No, I know it. His middle name it's Jay. It's for Jesus Christ. He's gonna save America. He's the greatest. We all love him. He's never done anything wrong in his life.
We're not doing this.
Malcolm's trying to fucking leg up us again.
Fuck that guy. It's probably just John. He's just like,
Malcolm is right.
Yes,
it's John. But so his middle name is John, and I think the funniest bit about this is that Republican pollster Frank Luntz once asked Donald Trump what the J in his name stood for, to which Trump replied, "Genius."
That guy led the country for 4 years uninterrupted. That is so awesome.
Oh my God.
You can look that up. No, I mean, that is what precipitated this entire fucking game show. Eventually I learned that story.
We can't be too funny on the podcast. Easy.
That was the game show presidential middles. Come back in 2028 for their next
edition. I'm just surprised you didn't put Vivek Ramaswamy's
that one would have been a curveball of all curveballs. I don't think you guys are going to get that one. Well, Malcolm is the winner with 2 points for Robinette and John for Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So good job, Malcolm. You've earned 20 Delilah bucks.
Yes.
Let's sing a jolly good fellow on 3, Robert. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow.
Now let's all suck his dick.
Yay!
And we're all going to deny that we ever knew him.
What?
That's mean.
I mean, I have a segment.
Yeah, you got a segment?
So this is from I saw this. This is a clip from a podcast called "Help! I Sexted My Boss," which is a popular British podcast. I saw this. This is someone that wrote in to this podcast with this dilemma. I just want to see how would you handle this situation?
Okay. All right.
I'm currently house sitting for my parents whilst they are away on vacation for a week. On the first night, after a few glasses of wine, I got under the bed to plug my phone charger into the wall, and there I found a very pretty shoebox. Imagine my shock when I opened it to find my mother's very large and battery-powered boyfriend. Hindsight is great, and I know now that I should have left it there, but my curiosity would unfortunately get the better of me.
No.
What?
Being alone and horny, and also quite impressed by the XL veiny monster, I gave it a wash, turned it on, and slipped it in.
I know what this is going. I know where this is going.
You're a bad son. Let me tell you something.
So, not to go into too much detail, but all I'd say is that the beast was amazing and it hit all the right spots.
I hate this, and I know exactly where this is going.
What do you mean react? You can't audibly like drop my jaw. What do you want me to react with other than being?
There's just some awooga noises.
Slams table.
Just wait.
Yeah. Know where this is going.
There's more.
Upon closer inspection, the only markings on the beast were a faint name on the base embossed in the plastic that read Clone-a-willy. It turns out that I've been getting the best orgasms of my life from a replica of my father's penis.
Yeah, I saw that coming a mile away. A mile away.
How am I meant to proceed from here? What's your advice? Regards, Melissa.
I'm going to tell you right now, you don't fuck your dad.
Yeah, don't fuck your dad. I get that's why you're writing in, because you want us to be like, it's okay to fuck your dad.
You just want approval.
Did they tell her to go fuck her dad?
No.
What did they say?
What did they say? The Clone-a-willy franchise is obviously enjoying a big plug off of this.
Has anyone cloned Willy?
I was thinking about it because, people always tell me to go fuck myself. If you found yourself in this situation, right, your first thing would be asking yourself, why did I feel comfortable washing off my mom's dildo and trying it? That would be the first question I would ask. If I proceeded to have a normal answer after that, I would then say, why are you dwelling on the fact that it was your father's enough to like write into a show to ask about it? And finally, I'd conclude with, why did you tell people it was the best orgasms of your life?
Yeah.
It reeks of a Reddit post that someone made up for karma.
Exactly, yeah. It's like one of those "Am I the asshole?" rage bait posts.
Shockingly, did not find this on Reddit. It's not a Reddit post.
It stinks of it.
It does have that stank. I will say that. It does have that stank. They could have taken it from Reddit. I personally believe that the British are unhinged enough to do this.
British are, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about that.
It is Europe's Alabama.
Yeah.
Europe's Alabama.
Like, this woman could have voted for Brexit and then also fucked herself with a dildo made out of her father's penis.
In the shape of their, but it's not made out of. That would be horrifying.
She's like, why is father in the hospital? It's like, well, he doesn't really have a member anymore.
He's had a calling too many in Swindon. He's off to the galleys, eh? The NHS can't fix him.
He died of the black spot, don't you know? Ho.
He's got the rub. We've got to put him down.
I mean, I think it'd be funny if her dad was dead.
Yeah, I was about to ask, was he dead? Or is it just...
Apparently, both of her parents were on holiday. So they had went to a holiday.
Well, at least she's still got a chance.
What Melissa's done is unforgivable.
Maybe not unforgivable. It's not like she knew before she did it.
But she knew she did it after. She read it and then it implied that she was doing it afterward. She kept doing it. Like, that's the thing. The first time you know, however many times you go before you find out about the Clone-a-willy thing, you go like, those are write-offs.
It's your mother's sex. That's the whole fucking problem.
Here's the question. If you found your father's fleshlight, would you wash it off and use it if you were that horny?
God, Malcolm. No, Malcolm, I would not. I would likely throw it away and never speak of it.
But then if you throw it away,
I would never ask about it because that's not what people talk about. It was a victimless crime.
It'd be so funny if your dad was like, I had this little box and there was a thing in the box and it seems to have gone missing. Robert, do you know anything about it?
Oh, that box? I thought it was trash.
And he just puts his hand on you. He's like, it's not fucking trash.
He just starts joking me. You little shit.
They don't make that anymore. They don't make her anymore.
This could go in a very dark direction.
Now, in this situation, he's choking you, and then you end up.
What? Welcome. Such a cut that.
What has gone into you? Besides your dad's,
besides your dad's shaped dildo.
Your dad's Clone-a-willy.
The good news is for me. The good news is for me.
Great news for you.
My dad's dead, so I'll never have to deal with this.
You just love saying that.
You wouldn't want to have to contend.
Just trying to make me feel bad.
Did I once discover in my dad's drawer the biggest bottle of Viagra I'd ever seen in my life, like a Costco-sized
Did you actually find that post-mortem?
It was not post-mortem when he was still alive. He was just like, hey, can you open the drawer? He was at this point he was constantly asking. He's like, I have some cash in there. And he would bring out, it would be a wad of 20s. But he did that. He had that, and then he also my dad was very open about the fact that his favorite porn movie was Debbie Does Dallas.
Why?
I don't know. He would just he had this postcard, and it was a Debbie Does Dallas postcard that was just there hanging, and there was this tits, he just had tits by his computer.
It was the quote unquote good old days when you could have a favorite porn where it's not like nowadays where you go on Pornhub, you watch 10 minutes of a 30-40 minute video, you exit out of it and never watch it again.
No, this one, it's at that point, this would have been they were hour and a half, and they were
you rent it at an actual video store back in then.
The plot line, according to IMDb, is a cheerleader and her friends need to make money quickly, so they begin selling sexual services.
Oh, goody. Be honest for a second. If your girlfriend was going out of town and in order to make sure that the weight wasn't unbearable.
I'd leave my mom alone, Delilah.
I didn't say anything like that. I was saying if your girlfriend gifted you a female equivalent of Willy, or what was it called again?
Clone-a-willy.
So this one, Clone-a-willy. So this would be was it Clone-a-cunt or something?
Yeah, something like that. Clone-a-pussy, whatever you want to call it. Would you if she was going out of town for a month and she gifted you that just to to tide you over before then, would you use it?
I got 3 working fleshlights, so no.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is your girlfriend's I can't finish that.
Oh, Robert's a bigger pussy than the one inside the tube.
Hey, your girlfriend was the one who made it for you, not me.
Well, if my girlfriend made it, I would say that it'd be an honor.
Baby, I'd be so honored.
Oh my God.
Your imposter.
I'll
use it every night while thinking of you. Okay, but what was the reaction on the podcast itself? What were the host reactions?
The guy who's the posh one, who was the one who was assigned by the producer to read it.
Probably
could barely read it.
Barely get it out.
And then both the guys were like, well, it's been a good run on the podcast. We don't. And then obviously they were like, stop using it. So I'd say these guys are, they're older hosts. They're like late 30s. So that was what I wanted to bring to the table this episode. I thought Harper would have a bit, just to segue, a little joke.
I could bend over and show you my hairy anus.
Ooh, but that's not a joke. That's a prize.
Oh, also, I know we did. I don't think we talked about this on episode, but you know how I was talking the other day about like 13 Ghosts?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that they're going to remake that movie?
They're going to remake 13 Ghosts, a movie they remade less than 20 years ago.
Yeah, originally it was a movie from the 1960s. Then it was released in 2001, and now I guess they're pitching to Sony. Dark Castle Entertainment is pitching like a limited series to them, and this was released fucking yesterday. And while I talked about 13 Ghosts like 4 or 5 days ago, I swear it's like they're reading our brains. It's very strange.
Well, it's just zeitgeist bullshit. Wouldn't doubt that they fucking try to make it into a limited series. They're trying to make everything into a goddamn limited series. I could take a fucking shit, and if enough people paid attention to it. I think the only people with the remaining attention span are like millennials like us in their early to mid 30s. That attention span is going to quickly dwindle, and I think we're going to find that we go back to that short form 2-minute content from the early 2010s.
You want Vine to come back? Isn't that just TikTok?
Yeah, it's just TikTok. I'm not gonna fucking get onto TikTok anyway. I'm too old for TikTok, and the kids, they make fun of me. They say, "Hi, you're bald, you're gay," and I'm tired of hearing it.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, you have too many fleshlights."
Hey, gay baldy, you and your gay fleshlights.
Shut up, my girlfriend may be one of these.
It's his first TikTok. He's just showcasing all his fleshlights.
Oh, this is my favorite one.
This is my fleshlight review.
No, he's got to be huskier, Harper.
This is my favorite. This is Lucia. The skin color is somewhat beige.
Yeah, this is the limited edition. Stoya.
98% silicone.
This one is
Should I read a submission?
Yeah, we actually should. I feel like we have more, so let's do it. Let's go to the form.
Sasha, put in like a little tiny intro jingle for the form submission. Okay, so we have a question from a listener by the name who would like to be known as Kula, Kuula, and their song recommendation is Sea Shanty 2, famous old school RuneScape song. Sasha, I don't believe it's copyrighted. Could you put it in for like a second? Now put in the rap remix of it.
Don't put it.
Yeah, do the remix.
Walking the trap and we fucking it up. Hand me the fork and I'm whipping it up. Can't find no other niggas fresh as us.
Okay, here is his question. I have a friend that believes that cargo ships are the size of sideways skyscrapers. I think my friend is wrong. I don't believe that cargo ships, if they were right side up, would be as tall as skyscrapers. They would be more in line with a modestly tall building or modestly tall hotel or office building. What do you guys think? Fuck off. Am I wrong or is my friend an idiot? What is would do you guys think? Would that I ponder?
I think they were hoping that you would correct them when you were reading it out.
Yeah, I think they were praying to God you would do something so douchey.
Well, this was a conversation I had with a friend one time.
No, your friend's an idiot. They'd only be the size of a moderate hotel. Cargo ships aren't that cool. They're like maybe a few football fields long, a few pigskin courses.
Well, the original thing was not cargo ships. It was cruise ships.
They're about the same size, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I said. They're about as tall as a fucking skyscraper. You want to Google a fucking picture?
They're not as tall as fucking skyscrapers. What skyscraper's the size of a cruise ship?
Are you fucking kidding me?
The ones in downtown Phoenix do not count.
When I was living in San Diego, I would drive over like towards downtown, and they have the big dock there with a cruise where cruise ships would dock.
And you laid on your side. You took a mental image on your side like some sort of beached whale.
Imagine a fucking cruise ship right side up, and I imagine it next to a skyscraper in downtown San Diego, and they were pretty much equivalent. How long is the biggest cruise ship?
So if someone like rode a speedboat into the side of two cargo ships, would that be like 9/11 for you?
Just the movie Speed too. Yeah.
Speed 2. What's like 9/11 sideways?
So Diamond Princess is 952 feet long, 291 meters.
Boy, now he's taking in mathematic details.
I'm literally Googling minimum.
Listen, they say that like the minimum height for a skyscraper is 100 meters or 330 feet tall. I call bullshit on that because like, yeah, maybe that definition was like real in like 1891. Right, like if that was like,
like the Empire State Building is not a fucking skyscraper.
The Empire State Building is a skyscraper.
Hold on, I have to Google how tall the Empire State Building is.
Here we go. It's an educational podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Let your kids listen.
I have it how tall it is. The from like the ground floor to the tippity top is 1,454 feet. So you're telling me that's how long a cruise ship is. It's over
the Diamond Princess, not even the biggest cruise ship in the world, is 952 feet.
That's not what Malcolm said though. You're missing about
what were you saying, Malcolm?
So the from the very bottom to the very top tip of the Empire State Building, that length is 1,454 feet.
Yeah, that's 500 feet off.
All right, that's a skyscraper. The Empire State Building is what I believe to be a medium height skyscraper.
It's a medium height. What is your definition of a skyscraper?
Like what's going on in Dubai?
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same shit. That shit is literally scraping the sky. Slaves died to build that building, Robert.
Yeah, like I think of like the Burj Khalifa as
according to Wikipedia, a skyscraper has to be at least 100 meters.
Yeah, and that's a bullshit metric, and I'm going to change it on the Wikipedia. I think like
you can't do that.
That's like saying the threshold for a big dick is 4 inches.
Fuck off.
No, just because you have a 4-inch penis doesn't make a cruise ship.
We both know that's not true.
Doesn't make a cruise ship a skyscraper.
A cruise ship is as long as like a small to medium-sized skyscraper.
Kala, I hope you're laughing. I hope you're laughing it up.
Because this is like the perfect topic to trigger me, yes.
Listening to Robert talk about how boats are skyscrapers all of a sudden.
I'm not
like I truly believe, that you're
going to go insane.
Like you're wrong.
You already are insane.
I am not wrong. Literally by official definitions, it is a skyscraper.
Appeal to authority.
At least being 100 meters or 150 meters in height, though there is no universally accepted definition, other than being very tall, high-rise buildings.
No universal accepted definition. I don't accept it because it's some bullshit metric. For me, I agree with with Kula, and when he says it's like, oh, that's kind of like a moderate office building. Like that's like the length of a moderate. Like that's the length of a WeWork, all right? like we're
you fucking live in Vancouver, Malcolm. All your buildings are basically skyscrapers. There are like anything that is under 7 stories is a skyscraper.
And there's also cruise ships here all the time, and I can say with confidence that you're wrong.
I'm going to get on the motherfucking Diamond Princess in San Diego. I'm going to cruise the fuck up to San Diego or up to Vancouver and kick your ass. We're wrong.
On a moderate hotel-sized ship if arrayed vertically.
You're also like, your thing is that you're trying to talk about one of the biggest cruise ships ever as your example. Yeah.
Even then.
We're talking about cargo boats, weren't we?
Here, let's Google the biggest cargo ship.
Oh boy. I think we've already settled this question. It's settled science at this point. I like how you had to turn off all the lights in your room, by the way.
The longest the longest cruise ship, which is the Wonder of the Seas, is at 1188. 1,188 feet. That is a fucking. Oh, I can't. Okay, I can't.
What deck do I get my dick sucked on? No answers? Convenient.
Listen, I'll get if it's cargo ships. I think there are some pretty long cargo ships.
The longest cargo ship apparently measure around 400 meters, 1,312 feet, and so I'm not fucking crazy.
You are. I don't buy this hypothesis. I don't buy this thesis. With you.
It's as tall as it is long. The very first skyscraper appeared in Chicago in 1885.
Yeah, and guess what? It was like
11 stories.
And if you laid it down,
that's like an average like apartment building now. You're saying
that
you're telling me skyscraper. I live in an apartment building that's like 9 stories. You're telling me that's a skyscraper that I live in a skyscraper?
No. I mean that's
no, exactly, because it's not a skyscraper.
There's only 9 stories. You fucking liar! It's only usually at least
you got it. You know, fuck you. I got you right there.
Before I murder these people.
Well, wasn't that interesting?
All right. So, yeah. Anyways, this has been a nice, thrilling episode of Seinfuck.
I'm going to murder you. Oh my God. I will find you. I know who you are.
Oh, you can't say that.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I mean,
how could you possibly know who Kula is? You're just in friends list.
Do.
Fuck you.
Oye, chica, ¿quieres saltar en mi rascacielos? Te rasparé toda la noche. Por cierto, ¿crees que el hummus se puede comer solo como comida o necesitas ponerle algo?